This dam might surprise you. Let's get into it. This dam is big. It's damn big, you could say. For a sense of scale, know that the water reservoir behind it will be over 10 times the size of the city of Paris, while the dam itself will be twice as tall as the Golden Gate Bridge. We're talking about the next generation of dams. This is the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, or as I like to call it, the DBD, the Damn Big Dam. Whatever you call it, Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is an absolute epic name for an epic megaproject. Here we're getting into it. Speaking of being big, it is taking decades to develop, and it's part of the country's so-called economic miracle, all owing to its capacity to want to raise millions out of poverty. However, it could also be the deadly spark that we'll get into in a little bit in a new struggle in the region, a battle for the Nile. This is Africa's largest dam. It is so vast that it has its own categorization. It's technically a massive dam if you look it up. When finished, it would generate over 5,000 megawatts of energy, which is more than quadruple Ethiopia's current output, and its reservoir will hold 74 billion cubic meters of water. And just for data purposes, you should know that 1 megawatt will power 1,000 homes over a year. The stats don't get any less intimidating than this when it comes to this dam. The dam is composed of 10 million cubic meters of roller-compacted concrete, and it will comprise of 2 power stations, 3 spillways, and a saddle dam. The main dam will be spanning 145 meters deep and 1.7 kilometers long. It will also have its own saddle dam just to support it while it's under construction. It's going to be over a mile long. There will also be 2 outdoor power stations on either bank of the river, each with a capacity of 3,700 megawatts. And by the way, yes, 1 megawatt is roughly equal again to power the instantaneous demand of about 1,000 homes all at once for the year. And then when it comes to, again, the size of this project, you should know the waters of the Blue Nile River diversion began starting all the way back in 2013, just to give an idea of the rest of the overwhelming scale of the DBD project. Once the dam is complete and in place, the diversion channels that go around it will be usually shut, and the water will often collect in a reservoir behind the dam construction. That is the purpose of the reservoir, to continuously power the dam. And that's precisely what occurred at the Hoover Dam on the Arizona-Nevada border. Water is released through the dam openings as needed and is frequently used to generate hydroelectric power. The massive size of the Renaissance Dam most likely necessitates the establishment of special on-site concrete batching plants close to the worksite, increasing efficiency and ensuring greater control over material delivery, which is critical once a large concrete pour is begun. However, many of the Renaissance Dam's construction details have been kept under wraps, owing to the property's relatively delicate political character. The dam is being built here on the Blue Nile, barely 30 kilometers upstream from the Sudan border, and it sparked a bitter argument over who owns the Nile and the water flowing through it. So Sudan might be a little upset, but you should know that Egypt is further downriver. Egypt is a nation that was entirely built around the Nile. It's known that 85% of the country's water comes from just this one source. 19 out of every 20 people in Egypt live within just a few kilometers of the famous river. Egypt has a growing population of almost 110 million people. And it's not just Egypt's daily drinking water that's raised concern. Nile canals irrigate farmland and support cities, agriculture, and fishing. And these consequences of damming could be disastrous. To create any dam, let alone a mega dam the size of London, you need a pretty thorough understanding of engineering and arithmetic. In fact, anyone working or aspiring to work in construction might have their own DBD-sized basic understanding of geometry and what the river flow would happen downstream. Tensions, let's say, in the area are high, and this dam appears to be at the epicenter of them. According to Business Insider, Egypt was apparently ready to bomb the dam in order to defend their stake in the Nile. So why would Ethiopia risk a potential conflict for the sake of a new dam? Ethiopia is hopeful on its administrative level that this megaproject will assist in lifting the country itself out of poverty. Currently, half of Ethiopians do not have access to power, and the dam will change that. The government is already on track to meet its economic objectives. Ethiopia has become Africa's fastest expanding economy, thanks in part to this huge infrastructure investment. Ethiopia was able to substantially lower the percentage of its population living in extreme poverty during this time of transformation and growth from over 51% to 30% of its population. This economic miracle of Ethiopia is serving as a role model for other African nations. For this part, Ethiopia has stated that advantages from the dam will be numerous and can be shared, while effects on countries that lie downstream will be limited. But the argument about who has the ownership of the river still exists. Negotiations at the table between the nations have nearly entirely stalled, as today there's no agreement reached. Whatever the conclusion, this infrastructure project has the potential to change more than simply the region's rivers. Are you into unique destinations and projects, megaprojects even? Why not check out what's happening in Norway with them making a $47 billion coastal highway? Is it made of gold? No, but you could think it was. Channel link in the description and more videos appearing on your screen right now. Check them out. Make sure you subscribe to Around the Amazing World for more updates and mega projects.